Hey everybody, this is David B69, and just gonna go through Core. Core was a fun little PlayStation Network thing that you had with PlayStation Plus before it was PlayStation Plus. Um, it was a nice little add-on. I'm going to skip the movie trailers. There's always movie trailers at the beginning. I really don't want the movie trailers, but I will leave everything else.
Hey everyone, welcome to Qore, powered by the PlayStation Network. I'm your guide, Veronica Belmont, and Qore is your favorite new form of media entertainment. Yeah, I know it's kind of a bold statement, but trust me, we've got the goods to back it up. Qore is the place to find the very best of the PlayStation Network. We've got game previews, videos, photo galleries, demos, downloadable content, Blu-ray trailers, betas, pretty much everything under the sun. And remember, Qore is fully interactive. Watch what you want, when you want, how you want, all in stunning high definition. Welcome to the next generation of games media. Qore, presented by the PlayStation Network. I'll see you on the inside.
So yeah, it was like really cool. They did stuff with the SOCOM.
If you don't play well with others, you may have a hard time, staying alive. The SOCOM experience is more intense than ever before, so set aside that whole lone wolf thing you've got going on, and you might, just might, stay alive long enough to get the drop on the other guy. In SOCOM Confrontation, you can customize your clan from the ground up. Think of it as a team-building exercise. Once you see how intense this game looks on the PS3, you're going to be glad you have your squad to back you up. The guys over at Slant6 really know what the hardcore gamers are looking for, and SOCOM is definitely going to be the ultimate team game. Remember, there's no I in team, but there is a meat, and it's delicious.
I like that. That's funny. So yeah, that's really funny. So. Oh. Okay. Is this like an advertisement for it? I don't even remember what it is for. Whoa! That's really wild. I love the music. Ooh, Grid. I remember Grid. It's coming this summer of 2008. Breakable armor, ring outs, Darth Vader.
The Soul Calibur franchise is basically the premier fighting game franchise that features weapons and that sets it apart from other fighting games. And it's one of those games that, you know, the casual fan and also the hardcore guys can actually get into and play, because you don't have to necessarily learn a whole, you know, intricate set of combos to be able to enjoy it. But if you want to spend more time with it, you can actually sit down and learn how to play all the different characters with all their different sets of moves and stuff. The story setting around Soul Calibur is basically set in a 16th century type setting in kind of, you know, the Europe territory kind of, and is basically centered around these two swords. The one sword, Soul Edge, is kind of like the cursed or kind of evil sword, so to speak, and Soul Calibur is the holy sword, kind of good sword. And there's a bunch of different characters from all over the world that all have their own reasonings for wanting to either control these swords or stop people from controlling these swords. In Soul Calibur 4, there's, you know, as in most fighting games, there's a lot of different characters with a lot of different styles. In our game, we have a whole roster of characters that have completely different weapons that all fight different and kind of have their own kind of unique signature kind of feeling and just personality to them. So all the classic characters from Soul Calibur, from the Soul Calibur franchise, have returned, like all the different fan favorites. But we are bringing a set of new characters as well. One of the biggest ones is Hilda, which, you know, people might have seen in different videos. She's kind of more of a female Joan of Arc armored kind of type, and she has two weapons essentially. She kind of wields this pole arm and also a short sword. So she's one of the first characters that wields two weapons in the Soul Calibur franchise. Starting with Soul Calibur 2, there was this great idea to include guest characters, and it's something that I think has grown with the Soul Calibur franchise, and I think was definitely lacking in the last version, and it's something that we wanted to return back to. And the first idea we thought of was what is the biggest characters and biggest franchise out there that would make sense and would be really cool to have. And I think Darth Vader kind of just stood out. Darth Vader on the PS3, you can definitely use the Force. He's one of those things that to add that character and not have Force moves, I think would be kind of a travesty. Competition has always been really important to the Soul Calibur brand. I know a lot of people have grown up playing against each other and playing against friends, but now the fact that you can bring it online, I think kind of elevates that competition to a whole new level, because you can actually play against other people around the world and actually prove who is really the greatest at this game. Soul Calibur 4 has returned to really become a true next-generation game by upping the ante in terms of the graphics, the gameplay, the different modes, especially the online mode, as well as the characters, and especially Darth Vader as a guest character on the PS3 exclusively. So Soul Calibur 4 essentially kind of re-envisioned and truly kind of revised and reimagined itself for the next generation.
Soul Calibur 4.
So yeah, that was like really, really cool. I like how they did that. Afro Samurai. Anybody ever played this game? I never played it before. It's definitely a different artwork. So I really know nothing about this game. It's kind of like interesting. It's kind of interesting artwork.
Afro Samurai is a new game based on the manga and television series, and is being developed here internally in Namco Bandai. Afro is this iconic character who represents revenge and lost innocence. Right? In the series, he is this young kid who had his father murdered in front of him, and because of that experience, he's changed forever. And in that, driven by this insatiable revenge that has to be manifest. The Afro means struggle for justice, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's struggling for justice against a character named Justice. In the game itself, Afro has a fractured mind, just like in the series, because of watching his father be murdered in front of him when he was 5 years old. So in that, he's doing all this soul searching with Ninja in his head, like a schizophrenic, the entire time. And Ninja is guiding him through this epic of him going back and forth in his mind, reliving his life. And all the positive moments, all the negative moments, all the moments that are kind of twisted, and you don't know as a player, wait, is this what he's hoping was what happened, or is this actually what happened? So you could play one moment where the gameplay is running and jumping and gunning, but then realize, I was supposed to be paying attention to what was going on around me. And you find that out after you played some levels in another direction. So you go back, and now it's different.
If you live by the sword, you must die by the sword.
That's interesting.
The characters listen to hip hop. A lot of the soundtrack all the soundtrack and all the musical inspiration comes from RZA, from the Wu-Tang Clan, and he is the master of kung fu films, blaxploitation, and music. And he's done an amazing job turning the music part of this game and the hip-hop influences in the storyline and bringing them to life in the soundtrack.
Yeah, I've never really ever played this, so it's kind of like crazy.
Sam Jackson and the RZA both are powerhouses when it comes to characterizing their work. I mean, Sam Jackson is actually Ninja and Afro. And he brings this richness of character and his expressions, and he talks a lot of smack in the game to Afro, and you love it. You eat it up, every word. I mean, it is absolutely an art piece. When it looks like a painting that's on screen until you hit the controller and all of a sudden it moved. I definitely think that people will want to be in that world. It's one of the things that when your buddies come over, you love to have it on the screen because you feel like, hey, I'm a little special. I got Afro. Did you get Afro? I got Afro. Finish Afro. Right? It's like GTA, right? It's like you wanted just to own it so you can say you owned it, but you didn't.
You really can't say those words.
Right? But you're in the group, you're in the crowd, you're in the in crowd. If you can say, yeah, buddy.
You can't compare yourself to Gran Turismo. I think that's an illegal move. You just can't do that. I think that's a major no-go. I think once you start saying the words Gran Turismo, not Gran Turismo, Grand Theft Auto, you're kind of screwed to yourself. Let's see here, we'll try to get back to the main menu here. And this might be the demo that comes with the game. Yeah, that's all there is here. So that's basically what's in here, this game. So until next time, this is David B69 saying, ooh, wait, there's more. You gotta keep scrolling through
Star
things
Wars
and
games
stuff.
have had a checkered past, but in Star Wars The Force Unleashed, you finally get to kick some serious booty with the Force. As a super secret apprentice of Darth Vader, you get to be a jerk to just about everyone in the galaxy. And it's definitely fun to get to tase some bros with your fingertips. Anywho, we've got an exclusive, in-depth look at some of the levels of the game, plus a few other surprises. So sit back and watch the helpless inhabitants of a galaxy far, far away try to stop a Force freak on a rampage. Yeah, guy's got some issues.
Got some Guitar Hero Aerosmith commercial. Gotta love these commercials. All built into the game.
So this isn't the Force as you've seen it before. This isn't the Force of the old men or the stodgy Jedi from the films. This is a re-envisioning of the Force and a reinvention of the Force, and the Force used in completely new ways, and again blown out of proportion, unleashed. And this character is unlike any other character you've seen before in Star Wars. Darth Vader's secret apprentice is in a really unique position because he is Darth Vader's apprentice, so he has no friends in the Jedi Order or in the galaxy at large, and he's a secret, so he doesn't have really allies in the Empire. Really, your only allies in the game are your droid sidekick Proxy and a love interest who's an Imperial pilot that kind of ferries you around the galaxy named Juno Eclipse. But everybody else is kind of against this character and is at odds with this character, so you really will need all of these Force Unleashed powers in order to make your way through the game and make your way through the galaxy and kind of do Vader's bidding and also accomplish some missions of your own as the story evolves. Using the PlayStation 3, we're able to integrate a number of new simulation-based technologies that really make our environments much more authentic and much more interactive. So you'll be able to do things to the environment and to characters in the environment that you've never been able to do before in a game. Force Lightning is a dark side force power that allows you to literally shoot lightning. Eventually you can get it to even chain between enemies. Force Grip is kind of the quintessential Jedi power. It's that telekinesis that allows you to move objects in the game. And here again, we're allowing you to use it in all new ways. So you can literally grab a TIE fighter and slam it into enemies. Lightsaber throw allows you to literally hurl your lightsaber at a target and do a tremendous amount of damage with a single attack. And then you can also impale enemies by gripping them and then throwing your lightsaber, and they'll actually get impaled and again do a significant amount of damage to that enemy. Lightsaber impale might be our favorite move in the game. we're really trying to portray the dark side like it's portrayed in the films in a lot of ways, where it's maybe a little bit easier, more seductive. You know, obviously, certainly, the allure of power is there. Things like Force lightning, which feel very powerful. But again, over time, our character does evolve, and he learns things about himself, and where he begins is not necessarily where he ends. So, like a lot of the great Star Wars characters, he really does struggle between the kind of pull of the dark side and the light side. We hope that you know, the Force Unleashed, when it comes out, people will think is a ton of fun because of all of the powers that you have at your disposal, because of the storyline, because of the different environments that you get to explore, and the different characters that you get to interact with. So, and there are a lot of surprises, I think, for Star Wars fans and, you know, fans of the films, in terms of cameos, the characters that show up, and twists and turns in the storyline, and places that you get to go and things you get to do.
No, please.
Yeah, it's always cool to see that kind of stuff.
We obviously feel that the Star Wars universe is rich and is you know, loved by millions of fans all over the world. So we really wanted to create a game that puts you into the center of that universe, allowed you to go to locations that are both familiar and new, that everything felt like a cinematic Star Wars film experience. Felucia is a fungus world from Episode 3. It's only seen briefly in that film, but there was tons and tons of concept art done about the planet, so we decided to make it a full-fledged planet in The Force Unleashed. You actually go there twice. The first time you go to Felucia, you're hunting down one of the last of the Jedi Council, and then you go back later to look for a rogue Jedi who is hiding out on the planet. And one of our goals with the game was to show how these worlds transform under the influence of the Empire. Raxus Prime is a junkyard world that is rich in, you know, various things to use against your enemies. There's also a bunch of natural dangers like giant, you know, chasms and toxic waste pools that you have to avoid. Kashyyyk is the Wookiee homeworld that we see in Episode 3, and you go there twice in the game, and again get to see the way that the Empire has kind of clamped down and destroyed this planet as they enslave the Wookiees. We've also created a number of new locations, including a TIE fighter construction facility that is where the Empire actually builds their starfighters. And this was an attempt to show the ways in which the Empire is growing their kind of imperial military machine. We are publishing The Force Unleashed on all three platforms, the PlayStation 3, the PSP, and the PlayStation 2, and no matter which one you get, you'll get the same great story, but you also get something new and fresh and unique, whether that's exclusive content such as the Jedi Temple on the PS2 or PSP, or historic missions, which is on the PSP, that allow you to actually take some of these classic moments from the films, such as Luke Skywalker's fight with Darth Vader on Cloud City, and recreate those, but now unleashed and over the top.
I never knew that was even there. I forgot about that. It's pretty cool. That was wicked. Wow. It is pretty wild. Wild. I love Star Wars stuff. It just doesn't get old. Pretty much look at this stuff like all day. Anything that's Star Wars is good. Darth Caters.
Hello, Darth Vader. What up, Vader? What's happening? Konnichiwa, Lord Vader-san. My name is Kate, and this is my audition for becoming your new apprentice, Mr. Vader. I can dispose of your victims hygienically. I'm very evil. I don't even floss. When I am not out doing your evil bidding, I will do other things to keep you satisfied. Vader, I just got your dress. Right. No, right. Your cape and robes. Do you want them pressed or just clean? I got your back, bro. I will fight for you. I interned at this model agency a little while ago, and I learned how to suck the soul out of a person just with a single stare. It kind of hurts though. Please, Lord Vader, pick me as your new apprentice, and I promise I will do a fantastic job.
You have reached Lord Vader's answering machine service. Please leave a message after the tone.
That's really bad. Oh God. That's just hilarious. I just think the whole thing is just absolutely hilarious. Okay, that's the trailer for that, and that's the download stuff. So, anyways, until next time, this is David B69. I'm out.